Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, which I'm sure everybody here is new, my name is Brianne, and today I'm going to be filming a book haul for you guys. Over the course of like the past year, so I'd say like September of last year, I got super into reading. I like discovered BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, all of that, and ever since then I have just been obsessed. I've always been into reading, but I would find books pretty much by just going to Target, looking at the books on the shelf. I'd look at a couple of reviews online and then I would just buy the book and hope for the best, and it would take me like months to read a book at a time, and now I'm just obsessed. So yeah, the books I'm gonna be showing you guys, it's a collective book haul. I didn't like go buy all these books today or anything like that. So this is probably over the course of maybe 4 or 5-ish months, and I have bought more books than this, I think, but I could not remember the most recent ones, so I didn't pull those off of my shelf, off of my TBR sections. So let's just get into it. I'm gonna start with romance books and then kind of finish off with like fantasy mystery vibes. I'll try to give a little tiny blurb of the books. I really like to know as little as possible before I go into a book. There will be no spoilers. There will be nothing beyond what is on the back of the book, I promise. So the first one I have is Every Summer After by Carley Fortune. Also, we're all just going to ignore the stickers on the book. I did try to take most of them off, but it just wasn't going well, so I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna leave them on there. So yeah, Every Summer After, I've heard that this is like Love in Other Words. I haven't read that book, so I cannot say if it is or isn't, but yeah, summer, I think it's like childhood friends to lovers, second chance romance, something like that. I don't know if I'm gonna pick this one up because it feels, obviously it's a summer book. I didn't get to it in the summer, so it might have to wait until next summer unless I go on like a beach vacation or something. Then I might bring this with me, but I'm not sure. So that's the first one. And then I picked up Pack Up the Moon by Kristan Higgins. I saw Destiny Sidwell here on YouTube. She's one of my all-time favorite booktubers. Go check her out. You guys probably already know who that is, but I saw her talk about this book. She said she loved it. I think it's about a man's life. He passes away, and then the book kind of just discusses grief, things like that, life after losing someone. I could be totally wrong. I didn't read the backs of any of these books. I'm just going off of what I think they're about. And then this one's kind of random. It's Never Been Kissed by Timothy Janofsky. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I always just found books by going into a bookstore, looking at the cover, reading the back of the book. I would sometimes look at like reviews online, but I didn't know what Goodreads was. Like, it wasn't that intense. And so I've been reading a ton of books that I see people talk about online, but I had a goal for myself to read books that I just found at the bookstore without hearing someone else talk about it. So this is one of those books. I read Red, White, and Royal Blue this year, earlier in the year. One of my favorite books of all time, and I've just been obsessed looking for another, I think people call it an MM romance, like two guys. I love that book so much, so I'm kind of searching for that feeling again, and this is about two guys. They work at a drive-in movie theater. One guy, I think he just works there, and then the other guy is their new social media intern, and then love ensues, and I'm very excited about this one. And then, like I said, I loved Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, so of course I had to pick up I Kissed Shara Wheeler by her as well. I know she also wrote One Last Stop. For some reason, that one just, it's not intriguing. So if you guys have read that and you like that book, please let me know what you think. Also, if you've read any of the books that I'm talking about, please do not put spoilers or anything like that. I just like to know as little as humanly possible. So this one, I think this has got like a mystery aspect. Hang on, let me read this. I have no idea, but it's by Casey McQuiston, and I'm gonna read it. I don't know. That one, they are in high school. I guess that's really all I know. And then another really popular book, all these books I feel like are really popular for the most part. The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. Another summer book that I just did not get to. Who did I see read this? I've seen a ton of people read this. I think Haley Pham was the first person that I saw talk about this book. And it's about them playing like a game of assassin, and then again, love ensues. I'm excited. Again, summer has passed. I don't know if I'm gonna pick this one up anytime soon. If a beach vacation rolls around, I'll pack her and bring her with me. Then we've got what seems to be like the queen of booktube, book talk specifically, Taylor Jenkins Reid. This first book I have by her is One True Loves. Fun fact, I actually have never read any book by her, and I think I have 5 books. 4 books. Yeah, I also have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Malibu Rising, both of which I haven't read yet. I don't know why. I just haven't picked those up. This is about a woman, her husband, I think it's her husband, he dies in a plane crash, presumably dies, and she moves on. She's like engaged, I think, or dating someone. Oh no, she marries. No. Engaged. She's engaged. The way I should like read these before I start talking. She's engaged to someone else, and then her husband comes back. They found him, blah blah blah. And yeah, I'm very intrigued about this one. And then also by Taylor Jenkins Reid is After I Do. So this one, I thought that this was going to be more like Marriage in Trouble. I'm not sure if it is, because obviously I haven't read it yet, but I heard someone say that it's more about her kind of finding herself after taking a break from her marriage. But I love Marriage in Trouble vibes, so I'm really wanting that out of this. But if it's not, I've still heard really, really good things about it. So I'm sure it will be great regardless. And then one that I never expected to pick up, The Dead Romantics. Who's this by? Ashley Poston? I saw this at Barnes & Noble, and it was on their little like featured table when you first walk in. And I read the back, and I was like, I don't know if it's for me. I don't know. All I know is it's giving like she falls in love with a ghost vibes. I have no idea if that's what it's actually about. She finds a ghost standing at the funeral parlor's front door, just as broad and infuriating. I literally cannot say that. Handsome as ever, and he's just as confused about why he's there as she is. Romance is most certainly dead, but so is her new editor, and his unfinished business will have her second-guessing everything she's known about love stories. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Her editor dies and comes back as a ghost. I had no interest in this until I saw a few people on BookTube talking about it, so I don't know. It's giving fall vibes, and I'm up for anything fall. Oh, okay. This next one. Ricochet by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the second book in the Addicted series. I obviously have read the first one, and I really loved it. A lot of people, which I notice this is a common theme, a lot of people will say, oh, well, the first book in the series isn't that good, but keep reading, it gets better. Any series that someone has said that about, I always loved the first book. So, I don't know. I loved Addicted to You. I was like hooked. I know some people said that that first book made them not really want to read the series and they weren't sure. I'm sure. I liked it. So I got the second one. I'm so excited to read this. I feel like the whole planet knows what these books are about, so I'm not really going to go into it. Also, if books are in a series, I'm not really going to talk about what the books are about because obviously, like, I think most books you need to read the first book first. And then another fan favorite, maybe, I don't know, The American Roommate Experiment, is that what it's called? Yeah, by Elena Armas. This is the same author that wrote the Spanish Love Deception, which I didn't like that much. I gave it like, I think 3.5 stars. It was okay. I feel like I took too long to read the book, and that's kind of a problem with myself, that if I take like weeks or even a month or so to read a book, I'm just like over it. I want to move on. I'm bored. So I don't know. I didn't love it, but this one sounded really, really good. So basically the characters, the two like main characters, the couple from The Spanish Love Deception, are on their honeymoon. I think Lena, that is the couple from the original book. Her cousin and her best friend end up staying at Lena and Aaron's apartment. They don't know, I think, that they're both gonna be there. They kind of just end up there and they're like, what are you doing here? And the other person's like, what are you doing here? So yeah, I don't know. I just love this trope, I guess. Forced proximity sounds fun. It's also set in New York, and I'm a New York girly. I love New York. Me and my boyfriend actually just went there for the first time like a month ago and went to the Harry Styles concert and everything. Don't get me started. I can talk about that for a lifetime. So I am excited for the setting. I'm just really excited about this one. I haven't really heard anyone talk about it as far as reviews go, but I'm hoping that it's really good. I've got quite a few books. Maybe I should like speed it along. I've got Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I think that's how you pronounce that. Again, this was another one where I kept seeing it at Target, kind of feeling drawn to it. I saw a few people read it, give it 5 stars, so I was like, okay, say less. I'll pick it up. This one is just about I think it's a city girl, country boy, and they're trying to figure out how they're gonna make that work. Sounds pretty good. We'll see. Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood is one of my favorite books of all time. It's one of the first books that I read last year when I was really getting into like BookTok, BookTube, and stuff like that. So again, I feel like it's so popular. It's a romance. All the ones I've showed I think are romance, besides maybe like a couple. Romance, women in STEM, enemies to lovers. I know we're kind of like moving past that in romance novels because it's never true enemies, but I don't know. I'm excited. We'll see how I like that one. And then the last romance I have is kind of an old one that I just picked up kind of recently. It's You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. I feel like this book blew up last year or maybe at the beginning of this year. I don't really remember. I just remember seeing it everywhere. Everyone was talking about it and everyone's read it already and I'm late to read it. So again, it's kind of like Marriage in Trouble vibes, I think, but they're set to get married, but they both want to back out, but neither of them wants to because I think they'll get stuck paying for the wedding. I've heard it's good, so I'm gonna read it. Now getting into kind of mystery fantasy. This is so insane because I never thought I would be a fantasy girly. I used to read pretty much like only thrillers. I think you can see here I've got like some domestic thrillers. Sherry Lapina, she was my girl back in the day whenever I didn't know where to get book recs from. So yeah, I've always read like thriller, mystery, stuff like that, but fantasy felt like a foreign concept to me. I was like, you will never catch me reading fantasy. Okay, let me let my dog in because now she's crying. Okay, now that I've let my dog in. No. Should she make a debut? Come here. Come here. This is Chloe. So cute. Okay, we're gonna put her down. Anyways, I was like, you will never catch me reading fantasy. Until. Actually, I don't have the book. I don't have the book with me. Let's see. Okay. Y'all can't see that. Until a Court of... Why did I just forget the name? Until a Court of Thorns and Roses. Guys, I picked this book up at Target, not thinking I was gonna like it. I was like, I'll give her a try. Tell me why I'm obsessed. A Court of Mist and Fury is one of my favorite books of all time. And so those books are up there. I'm not really including them because I didn't buy those recently, but A Court of Wings and Ruin. I just finished reading this like 2 days ago. I have no words. I have no words. The way I was bawling at the end of this book, like the characters were talking and I'm crying. Like nothing is happening. They're just existing and I'm crying because I love them so much. I've never loved fictional characters more in my life. Maybe since like the Vampire Diaries. That's the only thing that has come close to this, which is saying a lot because that's one of my favorite like things to exist ever. The show. I haven't read the books. Yeah, you can see I tabbed. Okay. Tabbed her. I actually just kind of started getting into tabbing A Court of Mist and Fury, like the second half of the book, was the first book I ever tabbed. So I love this book so much. I can't really say what it's about, but I'm sure the literal whole universe has heard about this series. This was the other series where I heard people say like, oh, the first book isn't that good, but keep reading. Guys, the first book had me in a chokehold. So I love this book. I love these books. They're so good. Freaking infinity stars for these books, actually. And then, of course, I picked up A Court of Frost and Starlight. I'm reading this right now. I'm not that far in. I'm like 24 pages in. So yeah, I don't have any thoughts on it, but I know this is just like a novella, and I saw reviews of people saying to skip it, but I don't know. I just love these characters so much that I feel like I couldn't not like this book. No, I couldn't not like it. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I just feel like I'm gonna love it. I don't know. I'll update you guys with my thoughts once I finish it. I'm gonna try to finish that today. And of course, A Court of Silver. Okay, I just hit myself in the face. A Court of Silver Flames. I'm just so excited. I heard this one is so spicy, and I love spicy books, so I cannot wait to get to this one. I've heard, which I know, I feel like it's kind of common knowledge now. I know that this is about Cassian and Nesta, and I remember feeling like, I don't know if I'm interested in that. I don't really care about, not that I don't care about them, but I was so set on the couple in this book. I don't want to go into it because I went into this series so blind, and honestly, I think that's the way to do it. So I'm trying to not really say anything, but I was so invested in the main couple in this book and Akhmov that I was like, Cassian and Nesta, like, I love them, but what? And then I read ACOWAR, and I'm like, literally, they looked in each other's directions, and I'm like, I need a book. I need a book right now. So I'm very happy to know we are getting a Cassian and Nesta book. I'm so excited. I'm very intimidated to pick this one up because ACOWAR took me a month to read. Granted, I was like busy with school and stuff, but I feel like this book is going to take me an eternity, and I kind of want to wait till I have a little bit of time off of school, or till things aren't as crazy, to pick this one up. So I'm so excited. I love this series. If you guys are like hesitant to read this, just read it. Just read it. It's a fantasy romance. It's so good. It's so good. There's a lot of found family. Okay, I'm like, what is my dog doing? She scared me. But I have the Truly Devious box set. I think this is like dark academia mystery vibes. I don't know. That's really all I'm going to say about that. Who's this by? By Maureen Johnson. I think this is YA too. Hey! And then one more kind of mystery book, and then I'll get back into fantasy. I have The Final Gambit. Of course, I read The Inheritance Games and The Hawthorne Legacy. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm sure you guys all know about this series. It's about a girl who inherits money from a billionaire. She gets like everything that he owns, and then his family is like, okay. So yeah, lots of puzzles, riddles, adventure, mystery, just so fun. I cannot wait to pick this one up. I am trying to listen to the audiobooks of the first two just as a refresher because there's so many characters in that book. I'm like, what is going on? So now some fantasy books that I picked up. I went to Second and Charles because I feel like a lot of fantasies, like a lot of popular series were made back in the day, so you have a higher chance of finding them at secondhand stores. The first one I picked up was The City of Bones, or City of Bones, not The City of Bones, by Cassandra Clare. I've heard that I think it's the Clockwork Angel series. I'm not too certain, but I've heard that that is super good and that you're supposed to read this one first, or like this series first. I could be wrong, but I picked this one up. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. These are like definitely gonna fall. And then a fan favorite, Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I think that's how you pronounce that. Again, I got this one for like $4. It was such a steal. I was about to leave the store, and then I was like, well, hang on, let me like check this front table, and she was sitting there waiting for me, so I picked her up. This one is, again, a fantasy, YA fantasy. about a girl who has a lethal touch, and then there's like a ton of books in the series, so I can't wait to pick this one up. I'm in a fantasy kick right now, so I'm thinking this is gonna be a book that I read pretty soon, and I might do a reading vlog on it because I feel like that'd be pretty fun. I have Siege and Storm and, well, I said them backwards. Shadow and Bone and then Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. I did have the third book in the series when I was at the store. It was the same price as a brand new book off of Amazon, so I was like, I would rather have a brand new book than a used one, I guess, for the same price. So yeah, again, I don't really know what these are about. I just know that I have 6 of Crows up there on my shelf. I heard that you should read these first. I know a ton of people say to just skip over them. They're not that good, but I unfortunately can't do that. If someone says to read something before reading something else, I'm gonna read it. But Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I saw Haley Pham talk about this one, and she just made it sound so interesting. Again, it's giving like fantasy romance. Maybe I can like read the back of this one. It says, a formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations. A son destined to lead thrust suddenly into power. 3 fierce young women of the Rattan, the Queen's premier guard. A legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself. A dark secret that is a threat to the entire continent. When outlaw leader meets reformed thief, a cat and mouse game of false moves ensues, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. Is this like enemies to lovers? I don't know. I just heard it's really good. I've seen several people that I watch here on YouTube read it and say that it's good, so I'm, like I said, loving fantasy romance, so I decided to pick it up. And the covers are stunning. Like, should I have been holding these books closer so you guys can see them, or can you see it like back here? I feel like it's fine. So yeah, those are all the books that I have for you guys today. That is a ton. We've got like 25 books, and then today, I wish I could have included this in this video, but I'm gonna be picking up It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I actually ordered it at Target, but I think I might cancel that order and go get it at Barnes & Noble so I can go get it in person. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it for today. I'm so excited that I finally embarked on my book videos journey, so don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be doing reading vlogs. I've got a couple other video ideas, but so far I think reading vlogs, that's gonna probably be my next video. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all that YouTube stuff, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.